Last time on my complete physical media collection, Paul almost died.
God, instead, ugh, hit myself in the face.
Will he survive till the end of part 2?
My complete physical media collection part 2.
Alright guys, well, welcome back to part 2 of my complete collection video. Part 1 was the more family-oriented PG-13, 80s nostalgia type movies, while part 2 is the good stuff. So this is the stuff that dreams are made of. This is the stuff that us movie collectors love to watch. And yeah, so this is the good stuff. So let's get through it. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. So this is the Godfather 50th Anniversary Edition. This thing is awesome. I had to spend the money to get it. I mean, just look at that. That is awesome. That ribbon opens up, and then we've got this book here, and it has some incredible artwork. You got to see some of this artwork. I mean, look at that. It's a production booklet of Godfather, Godfather 2, Godfather 3, and then in the back we have the movies with the Godfather on 4K, then the Godfather Part 2 and Part 3, and then a bonus disc. And this is the best part of this set is these pictures here. They look like oil paintings, and these are awesome. These would be awesome to frame and hang on a wall. I mean, check those out. Those are pretty rad. I love that. And they even gave me a little protective paper there for it. So yeah, very happy to have this set. It cost a pretty penny, but it was well worth it. So yeah, guys, if you this is completely out of print, but if you can find a copy of this, definitely grab it. It's a must-have. Next up we have is Reanimator. This is the 4K Deluxe Edition from Ignite Films. They sent this to me to review. I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this. It is different from the Arrow Video Blu-ray. It has the correct aspect ratio for one and corrected colors, and it looks incredible. So there's the 4K and Blu-ray disc, and it does include the different cut. I forget what it's called, but it's a different cut. And look at that. It's got this book here, which is awesome. And then it's got some art cards. And so this is a great release. So happy to have this in my collection. Reanimator is probably in my top 5 favorite 80s horror comedy films. Next up we have is a movie that was very rare. It's from George Romero. It was actually never been released here in the States. Except for, I think it did get a DVD, a really bad DVD. But Second Sight released it, restored in 4K, and that is Martin. If you've never heard of this movie, it's put very simply, it's about a teenage boy who believes that he's a vampire. And his uncle, and he moves in with his uncle who also thinks that he's a vampire, and he tries to rid him of his vampirism. So really the movie in the end is he a vampire or isn't he? It's a really good movie. I loved this movie. There is a like 2.5 hour, 3 hour cut, but they weren't able to find it in order to do that version. But still, the version that we got is awesome. There's a production book. If you can find this edition is no longer available. It's out of print, but if you can find the standard edition from Second Sight, definitely grab it. Next up we have is Thriller, A Cruel Picture. I have been a huge fan of this movie ever since I saw it way back in early 2000s. This has a really interesting history. It was banned in numerous countries, including here in the United States. It was even banned in its home country of Sweden. And what happened really is that they ran out of funds, and so They went to go look for some financiers. Well, they ended out finding one in a producer that produced porn. And so because of that, he's a producer with porn, and he wanted sex and sex and sex in this. And even that money shot, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. The original cut, the version that the director wanted, did not have this huge montage scene of sex and nudity and the money shot. But he had to put it in order to secure the rest of the movie. So, but there is two different cuts here. I mean, this is the one with the pornography. This is the one without the pornography. So it's really awesome that Vinegar Syndrome released both cuts of this. And it's a great movie. It's a really good movie. Heavily inspired Tarantino with Kill Bill, along with Lady Snowblood and some others. This is also called the Woman. Well, no, this was also called They Call Her One Eye. That was another title for it. It's a really great movie. Really low budget, great movie. Next up we have is, of course, George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. One of the best zombie movies ever made. This is not the big box collector's limited edition. I wasn't able to get that, but I did get it on this edition here. This is only available from Second Sight over in the UK. It's not available here in the States. So if you want to get it, you're going to have to go through a third-party website or through Second Sight themselves. Next up here is we have one of my favorite films of all time, and that is, I have to cover this up here, Possession. If you guys have not seen this movie, it's from 1981, I believe. It's a deep, deep psychological thriller. Not really a thriller, but it just really goes into the psyche, and it's a metaphor for a divorce. The director was going through a really bad divorce, and yeah, it goes there. I'll just say that. I mean, it has aliens, it has a squid creature, it has domestic disputes and some violence. It has a lot of things mixed into this, and this is definitely a movie, you love it or hate it movie. And there's no in between. Second Sight finally restored this in 4K, and I know that Umbrella released a 4K. However, it did not have the correct color grading that director Andrzej Sosowski wanted. Look at how thick that book is. That is an awesome book. Got some art cards here as well, and here's another book. This is the full shooting script, which is awesome to have. I don't know if this set is still available. It's probably not because it was limited, very limited. But you can get the standard edition if you want it. But I would suggest you watch it first before you buy it. I believe Shudder has it. So if you have Shudder, you can check it out on Shudder. But yeah, I would definitely suggest you watch this before you buy it. Next up is another Second Sight, and that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the box set edition. Now I know that there was a 4K released here in the States, and I did do a 4K versus 4K comparison of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it is interesting because there are some color grading and encoding differences between the two. Between this edition and the United States, the domestic edition. And I do prefer this one much better. It looks like it's much more in tune to the 16 millimeter and the way Tobe Hooper wanted it to look. And take a look at another thick hardbound book here, which is awesome. Love it. And some art cards here. Some art cards. And a poster as well. So yeah, this is another great addition from Second Sight. I believe that this was a very limited edition, so I believe that they don't have it anymore. But they do have the standard edition. But I did pick this one up and love it. It's one of my favorites. And next up is another Second Sight movie, and that is The Hitcher from 1985. Or 86. I'm so thrilled somebody finally gave us a good transfer, because for decades all we had was a really shoddy DVD and it looked like crap. It was in pan and scan 4x3. And I know that Warner Brothers did put out a 4K of this here in the States, but I didn't do a comparison, but I did look at the two, and this is way better. Much, much better. The blacks are deeper. The color grading is more faithful to the look of the film. So look, first of all, look at that, the artwork there. And then we have the 4K and the Blu-ray. Another hardbound, thick book, which is awesome. Love it. And then we have the screenplay. So this is the shooting script as well. I love it when Second Sight includes the shooting script. It's just awesome. And then some art cards there. Second Sight just kills it with these limited box set editions. They put in everything, and the kitchen sink and a bag of chips, everything we could want as movie fans and collectors. And I believe this is no longer for sale. It was limited, it's out of print. But you can buy the standard edition. You just won't get the big book or the shooting script and or the box set. If I can put this back in here without ruining it. Yeah. Next up, we have here some more box sets. This is The Town and Argo. These are two collector's editions from Warner Brothers. And Argo does include the extended cut and the theatrical cut. It has this envelope here. It says confidential. Open it up, and what do you have? You have, number one, an ID badge with Ben Affleck's mug on it. It's pretty cool. Next up, we have a poster here, and I believe this is a mock-up poster of the Argo movie that they present in the film. So that's a pretty cool poster. And then we have, I believe this is this a map? I believe it's a map. Yeah, it's a map of the rescue, where they had to go, where they were going of the rescue. And then that's not all we have. We also have, oh wait, is that all we have? Yeah, I guess that is. No, wait, we have a book here. So we do have we have a book. So we have a book here, and it's just a production booklet like usual. What's nice too is that it, if you can hear it, it's Velcro, so it's not gonna open up without you knowing, and everything falls out. And we have the same type of thing with The Town, except The Town includes 3 different cuts. It includes the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and then an extended director's cut. And the extended director's cut is definitely the one you want to see. It really fleshes everything out much more. I loved it. I love it. And yeah, that is the best cut. This is also has a confidential. It's really cool here. The ink, the stain, coffee mug stain. Yeah, that's what it is. And inside we have here, this is pretty cool. We have a Vericom booklet here, and it includes a ID badge and some employee information, which is pretty cool. We got some mug shots. So we got some mug shots of Ben Affleck and other characters. And then we have this huge fold-out poster here. So there's, look at that thing. That thing's huge. Map poster, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is really cool editions. I wish Warner Brothers, if I can fold it, let's see if I can fold this up right. But I wish that Warner Brothers did more of these editions like this. They only did like 3 or 4 of them. I'm going to show you another one soon. If I can fold this stupid thing up right. How the hell does this go? All right. So the other edition that Warner Brothers put out like this is with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And this is awesome too. It includes the movies. Now what I did is when the 4K came out, I just exchanged the Blu-ray and put the 4K in here because I wanted to keep this set, and so no sense on having 2 different cases. So I just exchanged the Blu-ray for the 4K. You got a booklet here as well. Then we have another patient file envelope. and this is pretty cool. So we have some cards here. These are some promotional cards, character cards. And then we have, what is this? We just have a little booklet here. And then we also have a deck of playing cards, which I have not opened, still sealed. Maybe in 30 years, this will be worth money because it's still sealed. Never know, never know, never know. Let's see, I'm going to put these right here. All right, next up, guys, we have is The Northman 4K. Love this movie. This is my absolute favorite Robert Eggers movie. Love it. Then we have Blue Thunder 4K from Arrow Video that just came out. And truth be told, I've never seen this movie. I know, but I've never seen it, so I can't wait to check it out. I haven't done so yet. And next up we have Blade Runner on 4K, Blade Runner 2049. Love this movie, fantastic. Never thought a sequel could beat out the original, and this definitely does. And then we have a box set. It's a Den of Thieves collection. This is from Lionsgate, and they have 2 steelbooks in here of the movies. So this is Den of Thieves, the first one. And then we have Den of Thieves 2, Pandora. Love the artwork. I especially love the green color of the steelbook. I was really surprised by the sequel, especially with these movies. The sequel is really, really well done. And I definitely recommend these movies if you haven't seen them. Really well done movies. Next up is Quentin Tarantino. I'm going to say this is my second favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I was fortunate enough to pick up this rare limited edition set. And look inside here. So we have the 4K Blu-ray disc, and then we have some goodies over here. We have a replica of a Mad magazine with all about Dalton and everything. And then we have that record with Dalton's single on there. Really good. So this is the Mad magazine mock-up, and it's a mock-up of his TV show. This is cool too, because it also has a poster of the Italian movie he made, Operation Dynamite. So that's really cool. I love this set. So if you can find it, definitely pick this up because it's really cool. Next up we have is the 5-film Mad Max collection box set. This was sent over to me from Warner Brothers. All 5 Mad Max films, obviously. So we have Mad Max Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome, Fury Road, and then Furiosa. And I was a big fan of Furiosa. I loved Furiosa. I thought it was just as good or even better as the other movies. And I think Furiosa is a love it or hate it movie. I know some people really did not like it, and other people loved it. And I loved it. I thought it was really well done. Next up, we have this box set. This is the James Bond 50th Anniversary Edition, and it includes every James Bond movie from 1962 to 20. This is upside down. 1962 to 2012, and it even had a space in there for Skyfall that came out in 2013. So this is an awesome set. All the James Bond movies. I'm hearing that that Warner Brothers is going to be also releasing the Roger Moore collection, and then the Timothy Dalton collection, and then the Pierce Brosnan collection. So I can't wait to get in 4K. So I can't wait to get all these in 4K. Definitely deserves it in 4K. All right, guys, next up we have, these are good. These are 2 special limited edition box sets from Sony Pictures. This is Underworld, and this is Resident Evil, if you couldn't tell. So these are really cool box sets. They open up like that. You've got all the films in 4K, and this is the only way you can get the director's cut of Underworld in 4K is with this box set. And the same goes for Resident Evil. You just open that up, all the movies there. No director's cut on that one, but these are really cool box sets. I love the design and the artwork on them. Next up, we have from Second Sight, The Brood in 4K. I am hearing that Criterion is also coming out with a 4K of The Brood, but Second Sight got to it first. Next up is one of my favorite 80s horror comedies, and that is The Stuff. And Arrow Video wisely put this out on 4K UHD. If you guys haven't seen this movie, you gotta check it out. It is a goofball horror movie, really fun to watch. This also includes the never-before-seen pre-release cut, which is about 2 hours longer than the theatrical cut, which runs like an hour and 20 minutes. And this director's cut, or not director's cut, but the pre-release cut is almost 2 hours, or is 2 hours. So you got about a little over 30 minutes of additional footage in the pre-release cut. I haven't seen the pre-release cut. I really need to check it out, but from what I've heard, a lot of people actually like the pre-release cut better than the theatrical cut, so that's interesting. Next up, this is one that I actually forgot I had. Mill Creek sent this to me years and years ago when they were producing DVDs, and that is the Andy Sedaris collection, Girls, Guns, and G-Strings collection. So we have all of the Andy Sedaris films right here on DVD. What's funny is I'm hearing that these movies are also coming out in 4K soon, which is insane to me. I've only watched a few of these, but I did do some really funny review parodies of these movies. You got to check them out if you haven't. It's under the Andy Sedaris playlist. Definitely check out that playlist because it's hilarious what we did with the reviewing these movies that I will probably never watch again. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll just toss it. Next up, we have a really great movie that not a lot of people have heard of. It went way under the radar, but it's a beautiful film and a really bittersweet movie, and that is Brimstone. Guy Pearce is incredible in this movie. I think this is his best performance ever, hands down ever. Ellie Fanning is fantastic in it as well. Now, this only got a Blu-ray release here in the States, but over in Germany, they were smart and they released it on 4K UHD and in this digibook, which is awesome. Now, all the menus are in German. All the information in digital in the pages of the digibook is in German. So I can't read it, and you have to kind of maneuver, guess around how to use the menu, but it's well worth it. Very well worth it. If you guys haven't seen Brimstone, I know it's on some streaming channels. Definitely check this one out. Do not watch it on Tubi, though. Don't watch it on Tubi. It's got the wrong aspect ratio. It looks like hot garbage. So watch this. Do yourself a favor and watch this in good quality. Yeah, really great movie. All right, next up is a little box set of Goodfellas. This is just Blu-ray. I never picked up the 4K because this is held as the second or third worst 4K, the second or third worst 4K produced. Warner Brothers did this when 4K first started coming out, and they DNR'd this thing to death. They really scrubbed it down. It looks like hot garbage, the 4K. But this is from a 4K scan just on a 1080p Blu-ray disc, and it looks phenomenal. So that's why I didn't pick up the 4K, because I heard that it's just really bad. It also comes with a letter from Martin Scorsese thanking me for buying it, and this booklet here. I really, really hope they do justice to this incredible film and redo the 4K. I hope they come out with a better transfer than what we got here on the 4K. Next up is a movie that, it's a trilogy, and it's an incredible trilogy. If you guys haven't seen it, you gotta do yourself a favor and check it out. And that is the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo trilogy. These films are just incredible. I loved each and every one of them, and each movie got better and better as the trilogy went on. This is the uncut, unrated edition, and it's not on 4K, just Blu-ray, but that's fine. So you got part 1 through part 3 and a bonus disc there. Definitely worth picking up if you don't have it already. If you've never seen it, really great movies. Really great film. Next up is, I call this one of the best, or the best 4K presentation that Arrow Video put out, and that is Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. This is the Chronicles collection. It just has both movies in one case, and some really cool posters and a book. I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this on my channel. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Huge night and day difference. It's really interesting, the improvements on the color grading and what they did with this 4K. Major improvements, and once you see the difference, you're definitely going to want to pick up the 4K. This double set is no longer available, but you can buy them separately. Next up is my little David Lynch collection. So what we have here is Mulholland Drive, 4K Criterion, Twin Peaks, 4K Criterion, Blue Velvet, 4K Criterion, and my favorite, Lost Highway on 4K Criterion. Then we have David Cronenberg. Finally, somebody did right here and gave History of Violence a 4K transfer that it much needed, and Criterion put it out. It's fantastic. If you guys have not seen this movie, it is fantastic. It's a really good, tight, not psychological, it's a really good, tight thriller. Keep you on the edge of your seat throughout the entire movie. But this is a great film. Definitely worth a blind buy if you haven't seen it. Definitely pick that one up. Next up from Criterion is we have Nightmare Alley from Guillermo del Toro. This is the definition of how to remake a movie. 100%. This also includes two versions. It includes the theatrical cut in color, and it includes an extended director's cut, which is in black and white. Yeah, awesome. I loved the black and white. This was definitely shot and made to be seen in black and white. And there's a little booklet here talking about the restoration, about the color grading choice of black and white, and so on. This is a movie that I just didn't really like that whole much when I first saw it, but I've watched it more since, and it's one of those movies where it's just like each time I watch it, I like it more and more and more. And when I watch this in black and white in the true fashion of how Del Toro wants you to see it, and the director's cut, I loved this movie. Absolutely loved it. Next up is One Cut of the Dead in this limited edition steelbook. I don't believe there was ever a standard edition that came out. If you are a filmmaker or into film on any kind of level, especially indie film, you definitely want to see this movie. The whole third act is just awesome. You need to check it out. There are some big surprises. It did not go at all where I thought it was going to go. And I loved it. Every minute, every frame of that movie I loved. Next up, we have this double disc of Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. So there's Bad Boys, 4K Blu-ray, and then we got Bad Boys 2, 4K Blu-ray. The best thing about this is part 2 with a Dolby Atmos mix sounds incredible in Dolby Atmos or just in surround sound in general. Definitely give your home theater a workout. And the second best thing about these movies is that it ended. Next up we have is the Alien Anthology series. This is all Blu-ray. It includes the assembled cut or the producer's cut of Alien 3 on Blu-ray disc. And I think it also includes the extended, no, it does include the director's cut of Aliens. And I also believe maybe even the fourth one. But yeah, this is a digibook with all 4 movies and bonus disc. I really hope that they put out Alien 3 and 4 on 4K to just complete the collection. Next up we have one of my all-time favorite films, Ed Wood. This is, in my opinion, Tim Burton's masterpiece. He cannot top this movie, and this is just an incredible performance by Johnny Depp. Martin Landau won his Academy Award with this movie. I still quote lines from this movie every single day. Yeah, it's just a great film. If you guys haven't seen this, this is definitely worth a blind buy. Especially, I've been going at this for so long, my battery died, I didn't even know it. So if it ended up cutting off a little bit, that's why. Anyways, next up is one of my all-time favorite films, and that is Amelie. This is a beautiful film. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It is gorgeous to look at. You could just watch it and not even pay attention to the movie. This has been restored in a new 2K scan from the original negative, and it looks... it just looks incredible, especially on a 4K display. I mean, just gorgeous, gorgeous. I also have the Deadpool trilogy on 4K, which I'm sure everybody out there in their dog has. Next up, I have the Scream trilogy in this box set that's dying. So we got all 3 Scream movies on 4K, which are definitely worth picking up. I hear a lot of people asking, are these worth picking up? Yes, they are. They're framed correctly and the color grading is correct. 9-day difference. I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of the first one. Go check it out. Huge, huge difference. And I did throw in Scream 4 just to complete the series. I know that Lionsgate is releasing Scream 4 on 4K. I don't know if I'm going to buy it because I didn't really like it that much, but we'll see. I also have the Riddick trilogy. So we got Pitchback on 4K from Arrow Video, the Chronicles of Riddick on 4K, and also the director's cut is in 4K, which is awesome. And then we have just plain old Riddick here on 4K, and the director's cut is in 4K. What's interesting is that the first 2 are from Arrow Video, and the third one is from Shot Factory. Why? I don't know. It's just one of those things. Weird. Next up we have is a steelbook to Us. The movie is what it is. What can I say? All right, let's look at what's in here now. So we got here incredible film, beautifully shot, produced by David Fincher. We have The Fall. And this is only available in 4K from Umbrella. I believe there might be another 4K out there, but I haven't heard of. But yeah, it's an HDR. I don't believe it's Dolby Vision. Is it? It doesn't say. Yeah, it is Dolby Vision. Okay, so it's an HDR10 and Dolby Vision. Looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Sounds incredible. Highly recommend. Next up is Frailty. This is a fantastic film. The one and only movie that Bill Paxton directed, as far as I know, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't care if you correct me if I'm wrong. It's perfectly fine. Go ahead. But this is released by not Arrow Video, Lionsgate in this handsome box set. We have the 4K and Blu-ray disc. And we have this really cool booklet. It's the shooting script, which is awesome to have. So happy that this got a 4K release because that Blu-ray was really bad. It desperately needed a new transfer. So thanks to Lionsgate for giving Frailty the justice it deserves. Next up is a newer movie, The Long Walk from Lionsgate on 4K. This is the limited edition steelbook. And there's the artwork. This is a really good movie. Talk about a surprise. This movie really surprised me with how good it is. Definitely worth checking out. Next up we have is from Criterion on 4K is Barry Lyndon. This was actually sent to me by my good friend Matt. So big shout out to Metal Matt. If you guys want to give him a follow, he has a huge movie collection and he's just a really good guy. So he sent me this and as a surprise, and boy was I surprised because I was not really expecting it. So this is the new 4K of Barry Lyndon, and talk about a moving art, because every shot is like a painting. It's just incredible. Literally every shot is a painting, and it looks absolutely breathtaking in 4K. So yeah, this is definitely one to add to your collection. Next up we have here, what's this? Thunderheart. Another great film. This is from Michael Apted from 1991, and this is one that kind of really fell off the under the radar. Not a lot of people saw it, not a lot of people know about it. So I was really happy and surprised that Sony gave this a 4K, which they did send me. I don't have the Blu-ray, so I didn't do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison, but the 4K looks absolutely terrific, and this is a terrific, terrific film. Definitely check it out. Next up is we have the Man of No Name trilogy, or as some people call it, the Dollar trilogy, but the Man of No Name trilogy, that's definitely the better title. This is done by Arrow Video, and they use the same 4K scan, but they just did their own color grading and encoding, and they added HDR and Dolby Vision, and let me tell you, these wipe out the Kino editions 100%. The Kino editions look like DVD compared to these. The Kino didn't even have HDR, just SDR. And yeah, these are the ones you want to pick up, especially if you're a fan of the movie. You definitely want to pick these up. And they include, and what's awesome is that the Good, Bad, and the Ugly includes all 3 cuts. Kino only had the theatrical cut. So yeah, these are definitely the ones you want to pick up if you're picking them up. And you can buy them on Diabolic DVD, Orbit DVD, or from Arrow Video themselves, just imported in. That's a TV show, which I'm going to show you in a minute because I got a bunch of other TV shows. Next 3 here. So we have here is Hard Boiled from Arrow Video. I imported this in. It looks terrific. Actually, and I honestly have not watched this yet, so I'm not sure how it looks, but I'm hearing it's a terrific transfer, and I can't wait to check this out. This also has a Dolby Atmos mix, but the source is from a mono mix, so I'm not sure how well that sounds. It's probably going to be much more front-end heavy. Next up we have from Vinegar Syndrome and their side title Cinematograph, we have At Close Range. Fantastic movie. Christopher Walken is legit scary in this movie. Sean Penn is fantastic. And we finally got a 4K of it. And I love this presentation with the book. It's like a matte finish, almost, it feels like fabric, like a canvas. And so we have a book here, and then we have the 4K and Blu-ray discs. And the 4K looks incredible. Definitely worth picking up. It is still available on Vinegar Syndrome's website. Definitely pick this one up. Next up we have is, In Search of Darkness. This is all 3 documentaries that was sent to me. David Weiner sent this to me. I have interviewed him a few times. If you want to check out that interview, it's on my playlist, Interviews. It's got that card. He killed it with this documentary series. Definitely worth checking out. That's another TV show that I'll come back later for. And then we've got is Flight Risk on 4K with this steelbook. It's a pretty cool steelbook there. Directed by Mel Gibson, which was really surprising. And there we go, the 4K and Blu-ray discs. Is it a good movie? No, it's not a good movie, but that's the whole point. It's not supposed to be a good movie. It's supposed to be just a dumb action movie, and Mel Gibson delivered 100%. It's a lot of fun. Next up we have from 95 or 96, that is Outbreak on 4K UHD. Looks and sounds terrific. Love this movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a blind buy. All right, guys, I finished this pile. I'm going to move over here now to 1, 2, 3, 4 different tubs. But first, I'm going to take a quick break. Oh, my God. Okay. And we are back. 4 tubs and these, so let's get to it. All right, so I picked this up. It's a John Wick trilogy in this faux, looks like a book, taken from the movie. It even has pages in it, written pages. And then behind the pages, oh look, it's the movies. And these are awesome, sick looking steelbook artwork. Take a look at that artwork. That is so cool. And then the discs represent the coin. So we got the gold coin here. So that's John chapter 1. Then we got John chapter 2. And then we got the silver coin. And then we have John chapter 3. which is The Black Coin. And I do have John Chapter 4, but that's over here. I love this interior. It's felt, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this is a really awesome set. I wanted it for the longest time, but it was always like 80 bucks. And I went into Best Buy when Best Buy was still selling movies, and they had it marked down to 50 bucks, so I had to grab it. Awesome thing. Box set. Oh no, this is broken. Oh, this broke. Oh, no. My whole life is over. This is the Watchmen box set, collector set. This opens up. But now since it's broken, I can just do that. But this opens up and we have the entire comic of Watchmen, the OG Watchmen, sealed, and this bound hard book. And then we have the movies here. It includes all 3 cuts. There's the artwork. And then I've got the 4K disc I put in there, and then the Blu-ray discs, and it also includes the complete motion comic, which is pretty cool. I like this movie. I thought this movie was really good. Okay, next. Oh no, my mic fell. No, my mic. No, everything's falling apart. All right, guys, it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. Everything's good. Everything's cool. All right, next up we have is this, which I'm sure everyone and their mom and their dog and their uncle and nephew and cousin and pets have. This is the Friday 13th Collection Deluxe Edition. This is from Shout Factory. It includes every single Friday the 13th movie from number 1 all the way to the remake of Friday the 13th, which I hate. Cannot stand that movie. And it also includes a bonus disc with a documentary and all that good stuff. This is not in 4K. However, the first 3 Friday the 13th were taken from a 4K scan. The rest were taken from new HD scans. They look great. I'm probably not going to bother buying the actual 4Ks because these look great already, and I just don't watch them enough to actually spend the money for it. What's awesome, though, is that Jason Goes to Hell never actually got a Blu-ray release here in the States, only a really bad DVD, and it includes the unrated director's cut, which is awesome. All right, so we have here, and I'm just going to rip right through these. So we got Scarface on 4K, Drive on 4K from Second Sight, Out of the Blue. I have to take a second to talk about this. This is a movie that was deemed lost, and now it was found. And it was spearheaded by 2 actresses. I know Natasha Lyonne, but I forget who the other actress was. But this has a really, really interesting history to this movie. Actually, my friend Dan over at Return of the Disc turned me on to this, and I definitely am so happy that he did. So thanks, Dan, for that. Always listen to your friends when they recommend a movie. I'll say that. It's not a very happy movie. I'll say that. If you're depressed, you probably don't want to watch it. But it is a really great movie, and I highly suggest checking that out. Okay, next up we have is The Green Mile in 4K. Then we have Brotherhood of the Wolf. Shout Factory put this out on 4K. If you haven't seen this, you definitely want to check it out. It's a French movie, and it's based on a true story. The sound design is absolutely incredible in this film. That alone is worth picking this up for, or give your home theater system a nice workout. Next up we have is The Usual Suspects on 4K from Kino. Then we've got In Bruges on 4K. Love this movie. Great movie. Next up we have one of my all-time favorite films. I'm going to put this in my top 5 favorite films of all time. That is Braveheart on 4K UHD. Incredible film. Yeah, this is the chef kiss of films. It's just, words can't explain how great this movie is. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Next up is a movie, The Place Beyond the Pines. Another great film. It went under the radar for a number of years. But yeah, it's a great movie. Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, Ray Liotta, Eva Mendes. What happens to Ryan Gosling in this movie just came out of the blue. Was not expecting what happened to him in this movie. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Next up we have Training Day on 4K. This is a huge night and day difference between this and the Blu-ray, where it has correct color grading and the correct aspect ratio. Next up we have 4K of Sicario. Then we've got Shout Factory's 4K of The Deer Hunter. Legends of the Fall. Sony finally put out Legends of the Fall on 4K for its 30th anniversary. It's also in Dolby Atmos and it sounds incredible. Great film. Lone Survivor 4K. And we've got, let's see here, Unforgiven 4K. Backdraft on 4K, which looks incredible. You have to watch this one with the lights out in the dark, because when those fire flames hit and those fire explosions, it just lights up the screen. And the DTS:X track is incredible. Definitely gives your surround a great workout. Next we have is Pan's Labyrinth on 4K. Now this 4K, Guillermo del Toro always disliked. He did not like this 4K. He says it has the wrong color grading and the choices they made were incorrect. Fortunately, Studio Canal is working on a new 4K transfer from a new restoration with Guillermo del Toro supervising the restoration and the color grading. So hopefully Studio Canal is not going to do what they usually do and put that ugly teal orange hue on it, and that they're actually going to give this the respect it deserves. Next up we have is In the Line of Fire, a great 90s thriller. And then we have what a lot of people say should have won Best Picture instead of Forrest Gump, and I happen to agree with that. This should have won Best Picture. The Shawshank Redemption on 4K. Shawshank Redemption should have won Best Picture. And then we got some steelbooks here. Then we've got some steelbooks here. Let's go through these really quick here. So we've got Sony Pictures released The Raid on 4K UHD. And this, according to the director, has the accurate color grading. So really happy that Sony sent this to me and released it on 4K. Next up we have is, look at this artwork. Love this artwork and love the film. Shutter Island on 4K UHD. Great looking steelbook. Next up we have is the Hurt Locker on 4K UHD. And take a look. Lionsgate never disappoints with their artwork on 4Ks. And then the discs resemble back in the day with the DVD-Rs that we all used to have. Yeah, great looking steelbook and nice, great film too. Next up we have is Saving Private Ryan, limited edition steelbook here on 4K. Next up we have is The Departed, limited edition steelbook. Warner Brothers sent this to me. It is a 4K upscale, but if I didn't know any better, I would have definitely thought this was from a 4K scan. It looks that good, and a big 9-day difference between the Blu-ray. Next up we have is the 4K steelbook of Heat. Fantastic film and great looking 4K. Next up we have is Sony Pictures restored Glory in 4K UHD. And fantastic movie, incredible movie. Definitely, guys, if you haven't seen it, definitely check this one out. And the Dolby Atmos track on this is insane. Next up we have is the classic from Brian De Palma, Untouchables, on a limited edition 4K steelbook. And it does include Dolby Atmos mix, which sounds great. All right, that's it with this. Let's put these back, and then we're going to move on to the next tub. All right, moving on to the next tub here. We've got some more steelbooks and standard edition, so we're going to go right through. It's the classic Total Recall. If you don't have this in your collection, I don't know what you're doing. You're shameful. I don't know what you're doing with yourself. Looper on 4K. Rambo, this is the 4th movie on 4K. Unfortunately, the director's cut is not on 4K with this. However, they've rectified that because Lionsgate is re-releasing all the Rambos with a new 4K transfer, and it includes the director's cut in 4K. So, good on Lionsgate. And then we have the original First Blood on 4K. In my opinion, Michael Mann's best movie next to The Rock on 4K, 13 Hours. And we've got a great 90s psychological thriller with Richard Gere and Edward Norton's first movie and he also was nominated for an Academy Award for Primal Fear. Really great film. We have William Friedkin's Live and Die in L.A., Oliver Stone with Born on 4th of July on 4K. And then we got some steelbooks here, and this is pretty awesome. This is a special limited edition steelbook for Sleepy Hollow, and I'll show you why it's so special. It's because it includes the novel, or the book, the short story of Sleepy Hollow, in it stitched into the steelbook, which I've never seen before. So this is not available anymore, and it's a special limited edition. Next up, we have one of my favorite 80s horror vampire comedy movies, Fright Night. Come on, you gotta have this one in your collection. Universal sent me over is Shaun of the Dead on 4K UHD and Dolby Atmos. Then we have Speed on 4K UHD, and looks and sounds terrific. This will give your sound system a great workout. One of my all-time favorite early 90s action movie, and that is Cliffhanger on 4K UHD. The difference between this steelbook and the standard edition is that this includes Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. And let me tell you, the surround track in this is insane. Absolutely incredible surround effects here. It will give your surround system a huge workout. Definitely pick this one up for the sound design alone. Next movie that really surprised me, and that is The Cabin in the Woods. Take a look at that artwork here. Pretty cool. Yeah, this surprised me. I was not expecting this movie to go near where it went. Yeah, and this is probably, I think this is a love it or hate it type of movie. I absolutely loved it when I first saw it. And next up is my favorite steelbook out of this collection, and that is Punisher Warzone, and I'll show you why I love this steelbook. Look at that artwork. Isn't that insane? That is sick artwork. Love it. And then there's that. And then the red slipcover O-ring. And looks awesome. On 4K. Then we've got some more standard editions. So we got Casino on 4K. Escape from New York on 4K. Black Hawk Down 4K. And the director's cut is also in 4K. Fury in 4K, which is an awesome movie. Really the only David Ayer movie I like. Then we got District 9 on 4K. Next up we have Beverly Hills Cop 1 and Beverly Hills Cop 2. And we do not have the one that we do not mention. Yeah, the third one. It doesn't exist. Yeah, that movie doesn't exist. And next up we have is Gladiator on 4K and then Platoon on 4K. All right, now let's get into the third tub. All right, here is the third tub, and then we're going to get into this beast. So let's look at this here. This is my favorite one. It is my horror genre collection. It's small, but awesome. That's what she said. All right, so I'm just going to rip right through these. So what we have here is the best 80s comedy horror movie you'll ever see, and that is Night of the Creeps. Fantastic movie, guys. This includes the director's cut, which is also in 4K. If you don't have this movie, I just don't know what you're doing with yourself. You need to have this movie. It's a crime to humanity if you don't have this movie. Next up is Zombie, and if you're a zombie fan, if you love zombie movies, this is the one for you. Incredible film. Great movie. It's got the best head explosion scene you'll ever see also. Next up is we have Torso, which to me is one of the best giallo films. It's really the one that started the whole giallo slasher, and it is great, and on 4K. Next up we have is Galaxy of Terror on 4K, Misery on 4K, The Dead Zone on 4K, They Live 4K, The Stepfather 4K, great film, The Thing on 4K, Basket Case is on 4K, and this is a perfect example of people saying that you can't put 16 millimeter in 4K. It will look like crap. Watch this movie. It doesn't. Great movie. Halloween 4K, Outland, Arrow Video put this out in 4K, and huge thanks to them because it's incredible. They sent this one to me. I actually haven't watched this yet, but I've seen the movie plenty of times. Fantastic film, love it. It's a really great sci-fi action thriller, and it's got some really gory scenes as well. Next up we have is The Company of Wolves, which is directed by Neil Jordan, and talk about a movie, a huge surprise with the movie. It's a twist on Red Riding Hood. Really, really intense and really great movie. So happy this got a 4K. Next up we have is Color Out of Space, directed by Richard Stanley. Talk about a big surprise when I saw this movie. It is a great movie. A really good sci-fi thriller. There's some really great body horror sequences in this. Nicolas Cage goes full-on Nicolas Cage as well. It's great. And then we have the classic Christine on 4K. Cujo on 4K. Seeing that dog drooling in 4K, it looks incredible. We have the 1988 remake of The Blob. If you're going to do a remake, this is a good example of how to do a remake. Train to Busan in 4K. Dog Soldiers on 4K. I want to back it up here because I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this. Huge difference. If you haven't seen that comparison, go check it out. Maniac Cop. Love this movie. I don't have the third one because the third movie, honestly, is not good. It sucks. It's not good. I'm not going to spend $40 on a movie I'll never watch. I'm still hoping and praying to the physical media gods that we get Maniac Cop 1 on 4K. I know there's a big licensing issue with it, and that's why it hasn't came out on 4K yet. But I know they're working on it. Then we have Pumpkinhead. I mean, come on, Pumpkinhead, 4K. And then we have a movie that none of us thought would ever see the light of day on physical media. From Netflix, we have Hush. Mike Flanagan directed the hell out of this movie. It's his feature film debut. We never thought this would get a physical release, but Mike Flanagan, whatever he did, yeah, so happy this got a 4K. Next up is a movie from the 80s that not a lot of people's heard about or seen, and that is From Beyond. Directed by Stuart Gordon, based on a H.P. Lovecraft short story. If you like body horror, this is definitely the movie for you because it goes there. Next up we have Sword and Sorcery, or Sword and Sorcerer on 4K. If you're into Conan, Red Sonja, those type of movies, you're going to love this one. And this goes to places I never thought it would go. Really good movie. Surprised by how great that movie is. And next up we have is Tales from the Dark Side on 4K, Maniac on 4K. If you guys haven't seen this, definitely check this one out. It is a deep psychological thriller. The ending goes somewhere where you absolutely do not expect it to go. It's got a great head explosion scene as well. It's hailed as one of the best head explosion scenes in a movie, so it's got that going for it. Great movie. Definitely check it out. Then we've got Black Christmas on 4K, and then finally, somebody out there was smart enough, which is Lionsgate, to put The Descent on 4K. And check out that steelbook, that artwork there. Isn't that awesome? That is cool. And there's a closer look of the artwork. Yeah, love this movie. Both the director's cut and the weak theatrical cut that was butchered by the studio on 4K. All right, let's put these back and then go into this one here. We're taking a break, so been at this for 2 hours and taking a break. These are really good. Never tried these before. They're called Fran's Donuts. 6 old-fashioned donuts. Really good. Next time I probably won't get the chocolate. I'll probably just get the plain one, the glazed one, because the chocolate gets everywhere. But good donuts, not bad at all. Doesn't taste like prepackaged donuts. Five out of five for these donuts. Well, maybe 4 out of 5, yeah. 4 out of 5 for these donuts, for sure. I drink my water. You guys asked for this, you know. It's a complete comparison review. You guys asked for it. I hope you're watching it because this is taking a lot of work and time to do. All right. All right, guys. Now that we're done with that break, let's get through this beast right here. So what we have here is Oliver Stone's Alexander, the director's or the ultimate cut. It comes with 3 different cuts of the film. You know, this is a movie that gets a lot of hate. Is it a good movie? I would say no, but I don't know what it is about it. I can't stop watching it. It's like watching a traffic accident, I guess. I'm just glued to the screen every time this is on, and it must be the photography or something, but it just, maybe this is cocaine fueled, and I just can't get enough of it. I don't know what the deal is, but I love watching this movie, and this is a collector's set edition. Now, Shout Factory did release this on 4K, so I just exchanged the Blu-rays for the 4K, and I did keep the bonus disc. And this also includes some emails from I don't know who they're from Oliver Stone to the cast. As you can see here, this one's to Christopher Plummer. Then we have one to Angelina Jolie. And we've got one to Val Kilmer. Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of them. It's also got some production notes on here as well. So that's kind of cool. Kind of a neat little add-on there to read these emails. And it comes with whatever this is. I don't know what that is. And then it comes with a book here, just a production booklet there. So like I said, I mean, if you've never seen the movie and you want to know if it's worth seeing, I would say yeah, it is worth seeing, but be prepared because it's not a good movie. It's not. The acting is horrendous in this movie too. Colin Farrell and Angelina Jolie, they're supposed to be mother and son, but they look exactly the same age. And their acting in this is really, really bad. I don't know why Oliver Stone continued this production with how bad the acting is. But like I said, I don't know what this movie is, what's about this movie. Is it cocaine fueled? I don't know. But every time I watch it, I'm just hooked to it. I'm just glued to the screen. This is awesome. A24 sent me this huge box set, the X trilogy. So it has X, Pearl, and Maxine. And what's cool about this is like a canvas finish. And inside here, this is like a hard, yeah, it feels a lot like a canvas. And it's pretty thick too. So there's the artwork there. And then we have each movie here. Then we've got this booklet here. What I don't like about it is that it is stitched like that, and so if you try to read it like this, it feels like it's going to come undone. But there's some great stuff in here about with the production and all the good, cool stuff. So yeah, if you're a big fan of these movies, this is definitely worth getting. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it, especially if you're a fan of the movie. Am I a fan of the movies? Not really. The only one I really like is Pearl. I did not like X, and I didn't really care for Maxine, but I did like Pearl a lot. But hey, I got this free from A24, so in the collection it goes. Next up is we have Old Boy, and this again feels like a fabric or matte, or not matte, but canvas finish here. It's really nice texture. So there is the artwork there on the back, and then inside here we've got the artwork there, and it is a book with some. So we've got a book here. And then the discs, I hate the disc is right in here because you inevitably get fingerprints on it. That's the only complaint I have with this. But this does come with some art cards, which is pretty cool. And the 4K transfer in this is outstanding. It's excellent. Neon went all out on this set. Very happy to get this on 4K. Alright guys, next up we have, this is from Radiance Films, this box set here of Cutter's Way. This stars Jeff Bridges and John Hurd. John Hurd is incredible in this movie, actually. I did not recognize him in this movie. This was from the mid-70s, and it's a really good movie. It was originally called Cutter and Bone, and then they changed the title to Cutter's Way. This is a 4K transfer, 4K restoration from the original negative. And again, it's put out by Radiance Films. Great movie. Get it if you can. Next up is we have the classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is a limited edition. Take a look at that artwork. It resembles a candy bar. Yummy and scrumptious. This is from the UK. So there's the artwork here, and I had to pick this up. One of my all-time favorite films. Booklet here, production booklet, and then we have this here, an envelope with some cool stuff in here, including I got a golden ticket, I got a golden ticket. That's right, golden ticket, baby, right here in my hands. And then we got some art cards, and one more thing here, we got a poster. I love that it comes with a golden ticket. That was one reason why I bought this set and imported it in from the UK. And the 4K transfer is great. I can get these art cards back in here. Get in here! Get in your home! Don't you want to go back to your home? There we go. Golden ticket. All right. Yeah, so this is a great 4K transfer. Great audio. If you don't have Willy Wonka on 4K, definitely pick it up. It is highly, highly recommended. I don't know if this set is available anymore, but you can check it out and see. All right, we're going to go through these now. Mars Attacks. This is the Blu-ray. It's coming on 4K next month. We're going to do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of it. And then we have, here is the Lethal Weapon collection on Blu-ray. I really hope that Warner Brothers releases Lethal Weapon 2 and 3 in 4K and 4. Especially since I really like Lethal Weapon 2 over Lethal Weapon 1. I think it's a much better movie. So I really hope that Warner Brothers does their job, the due diligence, and releases Lethal Weapon 2 and 3 on 4K. Next up we have is It 1 and 2 on 4K. And then we have here is Killers of the Flower Moon on Criterion 4K. Yes, it's a little over 4 hours long, but it does not feel like it's 4 hours long. The pacing in this is really, really well done. Fantastic movie, guys. This is a masterpiece from Martin Scorsese. Includes a book here, based on a true story as well. Yeah, great movie. And the Dolby Atmos track is fantastic. Highly, highly recommend picking up Killers of the Flower Moon. If you haven't seen it and you want to check it out beforehand, I know that Apple TV still has it on their app service. So if you want to check it out beforehand, here you go. Next up we have is the... no! It's okay. I saved it. It's okay. Next up we have is the Patriot Extended Cut. I know there's a 4K of the Patriot, but they don't have the extended cut in 4K, so I didn't get it because all I'm going to watch is the extended cut. I think they are coming out with an extended cut on 4K soon. And next up we have a masterpiece That is The Assassination of Jesse James. Incredible film. The cinematography on this is absolutely breathtaking. Must watch movie. Highly recommend it. Next up we have is Ordinary People. Classic movie. Swept the Oscars, and for good reason. Then we got two steelbooks here. This is one I was very surprised about, and that is Clown in a Cornfield. This is from the same director of Dale and Tucker vs. Evil. If you've seen that movie, then you know what you're in for. This is a great horror comedy. Highly recommended. This is the limited edition 4K steelbook. It's the only way you can get the 4K. The standard edition is just on Blu-ray. But yeah, highly recommend this. It's a lot of fun. And then we have the new Mortal Kombat! Finish him! I suck at that. But yeah, the Mortal Kombat on 4K Blu-ray, or not 4K Blu-ray, 4K Steelbook. There we go. All right, let's get through these here. So we have here is Joyride, great horror thriller. Grosse Point Blank, love this movie. Great 90s comedy. If you guys haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Masterpiece, Copland, from James Mangold. I really hope they get a 4K of this soon. It really needs a new transfer. All the President's Men on 4K. Real quick side note here. This is the this is one of the rare PG-rated movies that has like 9 F words in it. Worth watching because of that. Next up we have here is Network on 4K from Criterion. There Will Be Blood. Fantastic movie. Love this movie. This is the first movie I actually really liked from Paul Thomas Anderson. And they are working on 4K of this, so can't wait. Next up is Day of the Dead. There's a 4K coming out next month of June, coming out in June. And so I will be doing a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of Day of the Dead. Next up we have is Nightbreed, Clive Barker's masterpiece. And unfortunately, Shout Factory released only the butchered theatrical cut, which is a real shame in 4K. Very shameful that they didn't do the director's cut in 4K. It's highly superior over the theatrical cut. But good news, because Arrow Video comes to the rescue once again. They are releasing the theatrical cut and the superior director's cut both in 4K this month on May 28th. It is in the UK only, but you can buy it at Diabolic DVD or Orbit DVD. Highly recommend it. Next up we have is Nocturnal Animals on 4K Blu-ray. Then we got Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat Legacy triple feature. The 4K of Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation are coming out in July on 4K from Arrow Video. So stay tuned for a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison. Then we have Pretty Woman, classic movie, must have in every collection. Next up we have is from Turbine Medium, The Frighteners on 4K UHD. Now, for right now, they own exclusive rights to this, so we may not be seeing this on 4K anytime soon. But I do know their licensing agreement is expiring, so hopefully Arrow or Shout Factory will release this on 4K. Next up from Criterion, we have the all-time classic Hell's Angels, which is far superior over Wings. Hell's Angels is the movie that Martin Scorsese always screens for himself and the crew before he starts a movie to motivate them to make the film. Next up, we have Harry and the Hendersons. 4K is coming out this month or next month. Definitely will be doing a 4K versus Blu-ray. We got Major League on 4K. And next up here, we have more movies. We have Assassins. Joe Bob Briggs, The Last Drive-In, released a Blu-ray with 2 movies on it, and it includes his, of course, Joe Bob's segments. This is a really bad Blu-ray. Really poorly done Blu-ray. Bad transfer, bad audio. It's not even in 5.1, it's just in stereo. It sounds like garbage. It looks like hot garbage. I'm very disappointed with this Blu-ray. I was really looking forward to it since the show has been canceled, to have this in my collection that I could go to and experience Joe Bob whenever I wanted, but very disappointing. Not worth buying if you're thinking about it. Next up is one of my all-time Next up we have here is a 80s movie that me and Simon used to watch all the time when we were kids, and that is Terror Vision. If you've seen this movie, you know how bonkers this movie is. Video Dead, I've never seen, and I still haven't seen it. I've never watched the Blu-ray. Next up we have is Caligula, the ultimate cut. Now, if you don't know the history of this movie, it's really interesting. I'll just give a brief history lesson here. Caligula was always written to be a biopic of Caligula. And what happened? Well, they ran out of financing during the production, and so the producers were struggling trying to find a new financier. They ended up going to the guy who owned Penthouse magazine. And because he became a producer and the sole financier, he wanted this to become a porno, a major motion picture, a porno disguised as a major motion picture. And if you've ever seen it, you know he did not shy away from it. It's got loads of nudity, loads of sex, incest, and some really vulgar violence. This is a really vulgar. Malcolm McDowell hated the way this turned out with the theatrical cut. And for a long time, he's always wanted to recut the movie back to how it was originally supposed to be, with an actual biopic of Caligula. And now he finally had the chance, and I don't know who was all involved in spearheading this, but they did a hour-long documentary about not just the restoration of this, but how they edited this around and changed things and added footage in to be a more of a biopic. They cut out a lot of the sex, they cut out a lot of the nudity. There's still some there because it is Caligula, but it's not nearly as graphic or pornographic or vulgar as the theatrical cut. It's a much better film. It actually feels like a biopic, so I do recommend it. It also includes the theatrical cut if you're interested in that, you horn dogs you. So you can do a comparison between the two cuts. I never did, and I never will. Next up we have is Three Kings on Blu-ray. Runaway Train, fantastic film. Really great movie, guys. This is one you need in your collection. It stars Jon Voight, Eric Roberts, and Rebecca De Mornay. Really great movie, and now it's on 4K from Kino Lorber. Next up we have is Chinatown on 4K. I did a 4K Blu-ray comparison of this. Definitely check that one out if you haven't already. Huge improvements. Next up we have is from Kino Lorber, Mimic on 4K, and the director's cut is also on 4K. And then we have Ray on 4K. Huge improvement here. Corrected colors on the 4K. I did a 4K comparison to the Blu-ray. Big difference. Check it out if you haven't already. And then we have Masters of the Universe on 4K. I know that this isn't 4K. On Blu-ray, I know the 4K is coming out, so keep an eyeball or two out for a 4K comparison with that. And turning this around, what we have here is a 25th anniversary of American Psycho from Lionsgate, and they put together this really awesome set here. I don't know why they went with sports, because in the movie he talks about 4. So it doesn't really make sense why they use sports. Not sure why they did that. Maybe they couldn't get the licensing sports. I don't know. But there's the artwork on the disc and the artwork on there. And this is really awesome. It includes business cards to each character. So yeah, we get the business cards to different characters like this. There, Paul Allen. And they're really thick and textured cards too. I was surprised how well those business cards are handled. Then we got a Blockbuster video card with Patrick Bateman on the back and the barcode, which is awesome. And then we have an American Express card that says "Feed me the cat" or "Feed me a cat." So that's pretty cool. Some really cool stuff in there. I believe that Lionsgate still has these in stock. You may want to check Lionsgate Limited to see. But this is a really great set. Really happy to have that. Next up we have is on 4K from 4K Cult all the way over in Italy. We have Once Upon a Time in America. Fantastic film. It includes both the theatrical cut and the director's cut and the extended director's cut. A little over 4 hours long. I know that they're working on a 4K here in the States, but I just couldn't wait. I had to get the 4K to this, so I sprung and bought this off of Diabolic DVD. I actually haven't watched it yet, but I hear the transfer is fantastic, so I can't wait to check it out. I'll do it soon. Next up we have is the director's cut to Peter Bogdanovich masterpiece Mask. This is from Umbrella. This never got a Blu-ray release here in the States. I hope that changes soon because this is a phenomenal film. Next up we have is Honey Don't. That's all I'm going to say about that. Then we have Mel Gibson's The Passion. Great film. I can't wait to see what he does with The Resurrection next year. Then we got the Blu-ray to Armageddon. I'm hearing the 4K is coming out, so keep an eye out for that. The Edge, and then the classic, Pump Up the Volume. Pump it up, yeah, pump up the volume. Next up we have is Sleepers on 4K from Warner Brothers sent me that. The Insider, Prisoners. Then we have my favorite anime film ever, Jinro. Fantastic anime film. A few more here. We've got the classic comedy, my all-time favorite comedy from Jim Abrams, Hot Shots Part 2. Or actually, no, that's Hot Shots. Hot Shots Part 2 was in the first video. Then we've got Public Enemies. This is a great movie if you guys haven't seen it, from Michael Mann. And then we have The Color of Money from Martin Scorsese. And we've got a few more here I'm going to take a look at. So we've got here is The English Patient and Cold Mountain. And yes, these are coming to 4K this year. I'm hearing it's going to be out this fall. Can't wait to see the 4K of these because these are beautifully shot films. From Dusk Till Dawn is getting a 4K. The 4K is still coming. Next up we have is Time Crimes. This only got a DVD release. So happy that Vinegar Syndrome finally did justice to this film and not just restored it in 4K with a 4K UHD disc, but also they gave it a Blu-ray disc, and it's chock full of special features. It's a Spanish film about time travel. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely pick this one up. It's definitely worth a blind buy. It's a fantastic film. It's really suspenseful. Got some great action in it, comedy, drama. Really good movie. Next up we have is The Right Stuff. 4K is coming. The Blade Trilogy. Soldier on 4K from Arrow Video. They sent this to me. I just watched it the other day. Phenomenal transfer. Really fun movie. The Verdict. Turbo Kid. This is a limited edition O-ring artwork for the slipcover. That's cool. Throw Mama from the Train, 4K. Danny DeVito directed. Billy Crystal, one of my all-time favorite comedies. Really great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a blind buy. You need to watch it. Then this is a newer movie from Universal. Sent this to me. And it has Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This is a truly, truly bonkers movie. It really goes out there. If you're into time travel and just all-around wackiness, this is definitely a movie for you. And then we have Sam Raimi's Send Help on 4K UHD. This was also sent to me. And Sam Raimi, it's great to see Sam Raimi going back to old school Sam Raimi. This movie is definitely old school Sam Raimi, and I loved every single minute and frame of this movie. Alright guys, well that's the end of the tubs. Next up we have 3 drawers over there, and we still have 1, 2, 3 shelves in the closet full of movies. And we're back, guys. Alright, so now this is going to be some of my Criterion, the Criterion collection. But first, before we get into that, let's look at some others. So we got the Matrix franchise on 4K UHD. Looks great. Huge 9-day difference. I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this. Definitely check that out if you haven't. Major improvements there. Next up we have is Silence of the Lambs from Arrow Video UK on 4K UHD. Kino Lorber did put out a 4K, but it has the incorrect color grading. Arrow Video fixed it, so this is the version you want to get. Next up is Witness on 4K from Arrow Video. Great film with Harrison Ford. Inglourious Bastards got a release on 4K from Arrow Video, and this is the version you need to get. The Universal Blu-ray had the incorrect color grading. It was DNR scrubbed to death, where everything looked waxy and super overly processed. It had no depth of field, lacked in detail. The highlights and whites were all blown out and clipping. And there was a lot of issues with the Universal 4K, where it ended up as number 2 or 3 of the worst 4K transfers out there. Arrow Video took the same 4K scan, but they did their own color grading, and they used an original 35mm print for color reference. So they had the accurate color grading, and they have actual film grain in this. It looks incredible. It looks the way it should have looked from the beginning. Definitely want to get this one. It's 9-day difference from that and the Universal one. We got here is Southern Comfort from Vinegar Syndrome. This is the VSU series number 8. Great film, guys. If you haven't seen it, you definitely want to check this movie out. There's the artwork on the O-ring and the disc, and it comes with a booklet. And yeah, this is just a really great film from Walter Hill. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Next up we have is from Studio Canal, and that is Highlander on 4K UHD in this beefy box set. This includes a ton of stuff that I'm not going to unbox, but it does have a comic book and the 4K and Blu-ray disc. And this does not, fortunately, this does not have that teal orange hue that for some reason Studio Canal loves to add to their 4Ks. This is free from that, fortunately, and it looks fantastic. Love this 4K. Next up is one of my not all-time favorite, but it's one of my favorite 80s sci-fi horror movies, and that is Life Force. Finally got a 4K UHD, and the director's cut is also in 4K, which is awesome. Great movie if you guys haven't seen it. Next up we have is David Cronenberg's Scanners, and Second Sight did a 4K restoration of the negative, and we got on 4K here. There is the artwork, the discs, and I know the Criterion is also working on a 4K of this, but I just couldn't wait. I needed to get the Second Sight version. All right, next up we have is The Predator. All 4 movies in 4K UHD. This is the only way you can get Predator 2 and Predators in 4K is in this set. Next up we have is from Arrow Video in the UK, The Wolf of Wall Street. Absolutely love this movie. One of my top 10 favorite movies. And the reason why I got this is because of what it all includes. So it looks like a wallet here. We've got Jordan Belfort's business card. Then we've got his cocaine-fueled American Express card. Cocaine. And there's also a little patch of cocaine right there. And it also comes with this booklet. So there's a production booklet here. And Arrow Video also gave me $100 for buying this. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the same 4K transfer as the one here in the States that Paramount put out. There's no difference between this and that one. The only reason I got it was for these the cool additions with this and the artwork in the booklet. I thought it was worth getting. Wolf of Wall Street. Love this movie. This is one of those movies where anytime it's on, I just have to stop whatever I'm doing and sit down and watch it. Next up we have another Arrow. This is Dark City. If you've seen my 4K versus Blu-ray comparison, then you know how great this is. I did do a interview with Alex Proyas about 2 years ago. It's under my Filmmaker Interviews playlist, and he went and talked about Dark City and how much he dislikes the Blu-ray. So finally he got justice and the way he wanted us to see the movie with this 4K. Next up we have In the Mouth of Madness, one of my favorite John Carpenter movies. It's definitely in the top 3 or 4 of my favorite John Carpenter movies. Arrow Video sent this to me. Fantastic. I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this as well. Next up we have is the all-time classic masterpiece from Steven Spielberg, and that is Schindler's List. This is a special limited collector's edition. In fact, it has a, I don't know if you can see it, as a cell from the movie. Hopefully you guys can see it there. And then it comes with the certificate of authenticity with Schindler's List. Only 5,000 of these were made, and I am at 275. That's my number. And it also includes some art cards, which is still sealed. I haven't opened it yet. A booklet here, and then of course you got the 4K and Blu-ray discs. And the difference between this and the previous 4K is that this is in Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. And it looks and sounds phenomenal. It's just fantastic sounding. So really happy I got this. I'm not sure if they still have these in stock, but if they do, this is definitely worth picking up. I need to start moving these over here. There we go. Next up is we have JFK on 4K UHD from Shaft Factory. What's awesome about this is that the Blu-ray was always wrong. Oliver Stone even went to his social media account and he said he flat out hated the Blu-ray. Warner Brothers did not include him in that transfer, and the colors are completely wrong. In fact, I did a full 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this, and it's insane the difference. The Blu-ray literally looks like almost it's in black and white. And it had a blue hue to it. You have to see it just to see the difference in here. This does include the director's cut and theatrical cut, all in 4K UHD. I love the differences here with the artwork. I think that's really cool. Yeah, this is definitely worth picking up. Great film. Is it historically accurate with the bullet theory? No. And Oliver Stone has even said that he wishes that he could redo the movie because that bullet theory is just completely absurd. But overall, this is a fantastic movie. It is a masterpiece and one you need in your collection, especially the 4K. Go check out that 4K comparison that I did. It's unreal. And then Arrow Video UK put out Carlito's Way on 4K. Then we've got here is Videodrome on 4K. I know that Criterion is putting out a 4K to this, but I just couldn't wait. I needed my body horror fix. And then we have Lionsgate's Apocalypse Now Final Cut. It also includes the theatrical cut, and it is on 4K Dolby Atmos. This is one that you have to have in your collection. If you don't have this in your collection, then you're not a true film fan or true collector. This has to be in every single collector's collection on the shelf. Next up we have is American Werewolf in London on 4K from Arrow Video. Then we've got RoboCop on 4K UHD from Arrow Video. Then True Romance on 4K from Arrow Video. This is the special steelbook. Take a look at that artwork. Isn't that beautiful artwork there? I just love that artwork with the color scheme. That's just awesome. Yeah, this is a great 4K. Big difference between that and the Blu-ray. All right, now let's get into my Criterion collection. All right, so I'm going to try to go through these as fast as I can. We've got here is Risky Business on 4K. No Country for Old Men on 4K. Definitely check out my comparison to this. 9-day difference with the Blu-ray. Breakfast Club. This is not 4K, but it's, wait, is it 4K? No, it's not 4K, but it is a Blu-ray edition, sourced from the 4K scan. Then we have Do the Right Thing. I know there's a 4K to this, but I just love Arrow Video's transfer. And I mean, come on, look at that artwork, guys. You can't go wrong with that artwork. And take a look at this book here. This book is awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is also from a 4K scan, so it looks great. And unless Criterion puts out another version of this in 4K, I'm keeping my Blu-ray. And next up we have a great film from Gus Van Sant, To Die For. This is based on a true story. Great movie on 4K. Then we have from Guillermo del Toro, Kronos. I believe this was his first feature film, or at least a theatrical wide release film. 4K UHD transfer, looks incredible. Then we have Guillermo del Toro's Shape of Water on 4K. After Hours. This is Martin Scorsese's highly underrated film. If you guys haven't seen it, this is a must watch movie. Martin Scorsese goes all out in this. It's a terrific film. I loved every frame, every minute of that. The Piano on 4K, incredible. Then we've got here is Thelma and Louise on 4K UHD. And there's the artwork here. Great film. All right, guys, next up we have Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets. Now, I know a lot of people were disappointed thinking that this had the wrong color timing or wrong color grading, and it actually didn't. There was always supposed to be a tealish green hue throughout the movie. In fact, Martin Scorsese worked hands-on personally Martin Scorsese personally worked on the restoration. He brought in his own 35mm print, and they used that as color reference. And the prints always had the green hue to it. So that was always supposed to be there. The Blu-ray and other physical media formats, and even on TV, it did not have that green hue. Martin Scorsese brought it back. Yeah, it's a little weird when you see it at first, but it goes good. It actually draws out more flavor of the movie. Next up we have my favorite David Fincher movie, and that is The Game. I hope this gets a 4K. This will look great in 4K. Then we have the classic from Brian De Palma, Blowout on 4K. Night of the Living Dead on 4K. The Coen Brothers feature film debut, Blood Simple on 4K. Fast Times and Ridgemont High, Blu-ray edition, but from a 4K scan. Then we have the classic This Is Spinal Tap on 4K. I got to show you this artwork because it's pretty awesome. So there's the artwork here, and then it's knobs from the equipment as the disc. That's pretty cool. Great film. All right, next up we have is One False Move, a movie that hardly anybody's ever heard of. I can't find one person that has even seen the movie or heard of it. Carl Franklin directed it with Bill Paxton, Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, can you go wrong with that? You can't go wrong with that. 4K UHD, looks incredible. This is a really great like Western thriller movie. It feels like a smaller indie movie, and it's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Highly recommended. All right, next we have Raging Bull on 4K. The Irishman. I really like this movie. A lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people thought that the de-aging took them out of the movie. Honestly, I didn't find it that big of a deal. I was fine with it, and I really loved this movie. Next up we have is Bound on 4K UHD from the Wachowski brothers, or Wachowski sisters. The Sound of Metal. This is a Amazon movie, and it got a Criterion release on 4K. Really great movie. Love this movie. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend this movie. And then next up is another movie that I highly recommend, and in one of my top 20 lists, and that is The Virgin Suicides from Sofia Coppola. I believe this is her first movie, and this is in 4K UHD. Highly recommend this as well. All right, guys, so that is that. Next up, and the final batch of movies is there's 3 drawers over here. So let's get to it and wrap up this complete collection video. Alright guys, so I pulled 3 drawers. This is the end of my physical media collection as far as movies go. And I still have TV shows to go that are in the theater room. So let's go run through these real quick. Some of these are pretty cool. First, I wanted to show off something I forgot to show off in part 1, and that is my one and only movie that's on DVD, and that is The Spitfire Grill. Fantastic film. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely worth checking out and blind buying. It's like $7, $8 for this DVD on Amazon, and it is anamorphic, so it will fill your screen. And I really wish I would put this out on Blu-ray. George Feldstein with... It's dark in here. I forgot to turn on the lights. There we go. There we go. Much better. You guys can see me clearly now. Yeah, so as I was saying, George Feldstein with Warner Brothers Archive, he put this out on DVD. He's got to give us a Blu-ray of this. This is a fantastic movie. More people need to see it. All right, now let's run through these as quick as I can. So we have here is a great film, Brawl in Cell Block 99. Talk about a surprise movie. I was really taken back by this. Did not expect this movie to be this great. And he also directed 2 other movies that are great that I have in here, that in this pile somewhere in this mess. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked this out, definitely check it out. It's a really great movie. Vince Vaughn is fantastic in it. All right, next up we have is Good Will Hunting on Blu-ray. Hopefully this gets a 4K soon. That definitely needs a 4K. The Butterfly Effect, which is a fantastic movie, and now the movie I was really surprised by. Watch the director's cut, because the director's cut makes much more sense than the theatrical cut. And then next up we have Ridley Scott when he tried to remake or recreate, reimagine Aliens with Prometheus. I liked it overall. Is it an alien movie? I would not consider this an alien movie, but it's a great sci-fi movie. I really enjoyed it. Then we have here a little film from Mel Gibson called Bloodfather. So it's a really fun movie. And it runs like an hour and 30 minutes. Really good, tight action movie. Then we have a great comedy here, Tin Cup with Kevin Costner and Rene Russo. This is a really great movie, if you guys haven't seen it. Next up is Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Dennis Leary. Not the greatest movie in the world, but I have fun with it. I enjoy it. Next up we have, for Michael Mann, Manhunter, aka Red Dragon. This is coming to 4K. I think there's been some licensing issues, but I believe either Arrow or Shout Factory is going to be releasing this on 4K soon, so hold up for that. David Fincher did a remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I think he did a really great job with this remake. Yeah, this is how you do a remake, guys. David Fincher. I hope that gets a 4K as well. Next up is a classic, Caddyshack, which I hope gets a 4K. Another one I hope gets a 4K is Road to Perdition. This is a fantastic, phenomenal film if you guys haven't seen it. And next up we have comedy from David Zucker and the people that bring you South Park. Trey Parker and Matt Stone with Basketball. It's a fun movie. Then we got here is The French Connection. And I know when Criterion put this on their streaming service, they cut out the language, they cut out who this character really was with his bigotry. Yeah, hopefully when they re-release this on 4K, they don't cut it out. Next up is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. A lot of people had an issue with this 4K. I thought it looked fine. I didn't have any issues with it. Yes, it does have some DNR smoothing, but I've seen a lot worse, like Terminator 2. Overall, I think it looks great. Now the movie that I hope gets a 4K is the classic The Jerk. This is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Probably my favorite comedy. My number one favorite comedy is The Jerk. This is the 40th anniversary edition, and I really hope that this gets a 4K as well soon. Next up we have is Amistad, criminally underrated Steven Spielberg movie. It's phenomenal. Then we got National Lampoon's Vacation on 4K. Next up we have is a steelbook to The Gray on 4K that was released from Arrow Video. Happy that got a 4K. Next up we have is Cocktail on Blu-ray. Then we've got 300 4K. Then we've got a double feature here with Presumed Innocent and Frantic. Presumed Innocent is one of my favorite films. Love Presumed Innocent. I've only seen Frantic once from Roman Polanski, but from what I remember, I enjoyed it. So I'm happy to have this double feature here. I really hope that Presumed Innocent at least gets a 4K, because this transfer is really dated. It really needs a 4K. Then we've got here is The Cell from Arrow Video on 4K. And the original release, when they first released this, there was an issue that I brought to Arrow Video's attention when I reviewed it. And they have corrected it. And so if you buy it now, you will have the corrected version. And then next up we have here that is not available here in the States, unfortunately, but we have from Cult Gore Movies, we have Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive, which is the name here in the States. Brain Dead is much better and definitely fits the movie a lot better. Peter Jackson is working on a 4K of this and his other two earlier films. Cannot wait for the 4K of this, because this is a really pretty bad looking Blu-ray. Then we got here is Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping, great comedy. And we got here is Dragged Across Concrete, which was also the same director from Brawl at Cell Block 99. The first part of this is pretty slow. It kind of drags on, but once it gets going in the second half, it just goes balls to the wall action. Really great suspense as well. This is a great movie. Love that movie. Wish it got a 4K. And we have here is a great 80s thriller from Philip Noyce with Dead Calm. This is Nicole Kidman's feature film debut as well. Then we got here is Gran Torino from Clint Eastwood. Get off my lawn. I can't do impressions. But come on, you gotta have that in your collection. Then we got here, now, Amistad was a criminally underrated Steven Spielberg movie, and this is even more so. No, I don't even know people who have seen this movie. I loved it. I think this is the best modern day Steven Spielberg movie that he has made to date, and that is Munich. This is honestly an incredible film. You have to see this movie. I saw it 3 times in the theater. I loved every single frame, every second of every single frame of this movie. It's fantastic. Got some really good suspense, good action, some really good drama, and has a really good message too. And it was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director. I really hope that Universal puts out a 4K to this, because this is, again, very criminally underrated, to the point where I don't know when I ask people if they've seen Munich, they don't even know what it is. So if they release this on 4K, it will get a whole new life with film lovers. So I really hope that gets a 4K. Next up here we got here is Michael Clayton, another great movie, Life, with Ryan Gosling, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Rebecca Ferguson. Really surprised by this movie. It's really well done. I really enjoyed it. Wrong Turn, a really great horror thriller movie that I've heard has a 4K coming. Slither, which has a 4K coming out next month. Can't wait to get that 4K of Slither from James Gunn. And what we have here is The Hand. This is Oliver Stone's feature film debut. It's a psychological horror movie. Really good stuff in there. Michael Caine is fantastic in it. Then we have here is Tropic Thunder on 4K. Unfortunately, the director's cut is not in 4K. Then we have here The Ghost in the Darkness with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. A lot of people didn't really care for this movie. I always liked it. I thought it was a great movie. 2 good, more modern day comedies. I Love You Man, which is a fantastic comedy. Love this movie. I can watch this movie anytime. And then We're the Millers. Another movie that I was surprised by. I wasn't expecting much from it, but it was great. Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight, which are coming to 4K. Django Unchained and Hateful Eight have been announced for 4K. I really wish they would put out the Roadshow edition of Hateful Eight, though, with that extra footage and the intermission. That would be awesome to have. I really wish that someone put that out. The 4K to Team America, World Police. Great comedy. One of Sam Raimi's more dramatic movies, and one of his best. I think this is one of his best movies that he's done outside of The Evil Dead. A Simple Plan is incredible. It's fantastic. We have here is Blade, the original Blade movie on 4K Steelbook. They announced Blade 2 would get a 4K, but it's not here yet. American Sniper in 4K from Clint Eastwood. I don't know why people have such an issue with this movie. I thought it was really well done. Bradley Cooper's really great in it. Clint Eastwood directs the hell out of this movie. It's got some good suspense. I guess, at the ending when he's holding the baby, it's obviously a doll, but whatever. I can deal with that. But I always liked this movie. I thought it was really great. From Umbrella, and this was actually sent to me from Metal Matt. My friend Matt, he bought this and sent this to me, hardware on 4K UHD from Richard Stanley. This is the 4K release from Umbrella, and it is in HDR Dolby Vision. So happy that he was able to send this to me, and I love that slipcover. Next up we have here is Wrath of Man. Talk about a movie that does not feel like a Guy Ritchie movie at all. It's actually really, really good. It's not your typical Guy Ritchie movie. Really well done. I really like this movie. Next up is a movie that nobody has ever heard of or seen. Another one, and that is Machine Gun Preacher. I think the reason why nobody's heard of this movie and it really did not play well in theaters is because of the title. The title is terrible. It sounds like a Grindhouse type movie, like a wannabe Grindhouse movie, but it is not. Nowhere near a Grindhouse type movie. It's based on a true story of a preacher strays the path of religion, and he goes to a different country to help out the locals, and it's just really, really great. This is a great film. Gerard Butler's is fantastic in this, and I think it's his best performance ever. This is definitely worth picking up. Next up we have is Rain Man on 4K. This is MVD's first outing in 4K, and it looks great. Then we have Vanilla Sky in 4K, great movie. Then we got here is Orgasmo, and this is coming to 4K. I don't know if the unrated version is in 4K or not, but this is the NC-17 and unrated version. I probably won't pick up the 4K. I don't think that's really worth buying a 4K for. Oliver Stone's Savages. This is a great movie, and it's great 4K. Then we got here is Coming to America on 4K, which is classic comedy. And then we have here is A Star is Born. This is the special edition Encore was just released on Blu-ray, but I do have the 4K as well, and then the director's cut is on Blu-ray. So I just switched out the Blu-ray disc with the theatrical cut for the 4K, and then I just put it in this 4K case because I think it looks a lot better. All right, moving on to the next two buckets here. All right, guys, next bucket here. Let's see what we got here. All right, guys. So next up we have is Conspiracy Theory, a great movie from Richard Donner, one of his last movies with Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts. Really great suspense thriller and a lot of fun. This movie is a ton of fun to watch. Then we have Seven Psychopaths, hilarious movie. Got some great action in it. Really good film if you haven't seen it. Christopher Nolan's Memento, Girl Interrupted by James Mangold. Fantastic film. If you guys haven't seen this, it is a must-see and must-have in your collection. Let's see here, Apocalypto from Mel Gibson. This is a great looking Blu-ray and great sounding Blu-ray. I do hope that it comes with a 4K of that soon. Then we got here is Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is a really fun comedy. We have here is Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny, really fun comedy. And then we got here is Grindhouse. And this is the theatrical cut where it's completely unbridged. It's 3 hours and like 10 minutes long. Has all the fake trailers. Has both Planet Terror and Death Proof. They're not the director's cut. This is the theatrical cut, which I really like a whole lot better, where it's unbridged. Then we got here is Pineapple Express, which is a great comedy. 40-year-old version got a 4K. Universal sent this to me. It looks fantastic in 4K. Then we got here is Kill Bill, the 4Ks. I went ahead and splurged for the Steelbook because I love the artwork to these Steelbooks. This artwork is fantastic. I love the artwork on these Steelbooks. People have an issue with the 4K transfer on these because they did some DNR scrubbing, but I honestly didn't have an issue with it. I didn't think it was a huge deal. I don't think it looks as terrible as some people think it looks. Yeah, I really don't think they're as bad as people think it is. However, the whole bloody affair is coming to 4K from Lionsgate. It has been announced. Lionsgate just needs to get their butt in gear and get the official announcement out so we can get those pre-orders ready. And then we got Jackie Brown on 4K, which is probably the best looking 4K of Quentin Tarantino, next to Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. And great looking Blu-ray 4K. And we've got here is Pulp Fiction on 4K. It looks great. Then Reservoir Dogs on 4K. Now I did do Blu-ray versus 4K comparisons of both of these, so go check them out. They're on my channel. Then we have here is Near Dark, and who is it? Studio Canal re-released this on Blu-ray, and Synapse Films just announced that they're working on a 4K restoration of this for 2027, which is its 40th anniversary. But I got this from Studio Canal a few years ago because I love this movie. It's one of my favorite films as far as horror vampire genre goes. Catherine Bigelow did a fantastic job in this as her first film. And yeah, so I wasn't sure when the Blu-ray was going to come out when I bought that. We got here is Dredd on 4K, the best Judge Dredd movie ever made. Kingdom of Heaven got the 4K to this, 4K Steelbook, which looks awesome. This is a phenomenal 4K transfer, and all 3 cuts are in 4K and Dolby Atmos. This is the only way you can buy it, at least here in the States, is with this Steelbook, which I think might be out of print now, I'm not sure. But they should have some reissues. This is highly recommended. This needs to be in your collection. Next up we have is Way of the Gun, which is a great film, feature film debut of Christopher McQuarrie. And look at that artwork. Love this artwork here. This is from Lionsgate Limited. The only way you can get this is through Lionsgate Limited's website and with this 4K Steelbook. And it looks and sounds phenomenal. Next up we have is Jacob's Ladder, which is another Lionsgate Limited release. The only way you can get the 4K is through Lionsgate Limited, and it's a great looking 4K, great sounding 4K. Love this movie. Huge fan of this movie. Psychological thriller. And then we have here Sin City, which does include the extended edition as well. And then we have from Second Sight, they sent this to me to review, and that is The Nice Guys on 4K, and I did do a 4K comparison of this next to Warner Brothers, and this wipes out Warner Brothers 4K 100%. Big 9-day difference there. One coming on 4K soon, and that is Interview with the Vampire. Can't wait for that 4K. Then we got A Time to Kill. Eraser, which is coming on 4K in June. Can't wait to get that 4K and do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of that. Children of Men, which unfortunately cannot get a 4K, at least from what I've heard, because of the way they shot it and what they used to shoot it with, and it was finished in 2K. So from what I hear, they can't do a 4K of this. But then again, they managed to do a 4K of 28 Days Later. So maybe Universal, hello. Then we got here Fargo on 4K, which looks great. Then we've got Stand By Me, which was sent to me from Sony Pictures. It's a great looking 4K. So happy to have that in my collection. Then we've got here is American History X, incredible film. LA Confidential, which needs a 4K. Where's the 4K to this, Warner Brothers? Desperately needs a 4K. This is from Arrow Video in the UK, Heathers on 4K. And then we've got David Fincher with Zodiac on 4K. Unfortunately, the director's cut is not on 4K. The Firm in 4K. Ransom in Blu-ray, not 4K. This is the 15th anniversary and the extended cut. This is a really good movie. It's a lot of fun. It's not the best Ron Howard, Mel Gibson movie, but it's still up there. Then we have here is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This is the Skynet edition on Blu-ray. I did not pick up the 4K because of all the reasons why you should not have that 4K. This is actually the best transfer to have, is the Skynet edition. And it has all 3 cuts. And then we've got the Terminator on 4K. And I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this. This thing wipes out the Blu-ray 100%. True Lies on 4K. I also did a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this. People had a lot of issues with this when it first came out, mainly because it had some DNR scrubbing. Yeah, a few frames has some waxiness to it, but the overall image looks great. I really didn't have an issue with it. It's bright, it's very colorful, it really pops, it's got a lot of detail and texture to it, and it's framed correctly. Number one, it's not in anamorph, it's not in 4:3 like the DVD. It looks great, it looks phenomenal, and now I'm hearing from more and more people that they actually really like this 4K now. When in turn, when it first came out, people raked it over the coals. Next up is from Warner Brothers. They sent this to me to review, and that is Lethal Weapon. I'm so happy that the director's cut is included in this on 4K. But where's Lethal Weapon 2? Come on, the Warner Brothers, wake up. We need Lethal Weapon 2 and Lethal Weapon 3. I actually prefer Lethal Weapon 2 over Lethal Weapon. So give us the 4K to Lethal Weapon 2. Scent of a Woman, classic film. Got to have that in your collection. This is the steelbook to Starship Troopers. The difference between this and the standard edition 4K is that this is in Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. That's the difference. Christopher Nolan's second feature film, Insomnia, which is fantastic. Aaron Brockovich on 4K, looks great. The Jackal on Blu-ray with Bruce Willis, Richard Gere, really fun action movie. This is a really great movie from the late, great Ted Demme. We have Blow from Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz. This is a fantastic film if you guys haven't seen it. Definitely one you want to check out. And we've got here is United 93, really great suspense movie. The sound design on this is awesome. Then Wall Street on Blu-ray. And then we've got a few more here. We've got Nobody on Blu-ray, 4K. MacGruber, the unrated edition and the theatrical cut on Blu-ray. This is a great movie, really funny. I was surprised by it. The Last Samurai, come on. Edward Zwick, Tom Cruise, come on. I mean, really. Which this really needs a 4K because the Blu-ray looks really bad. Gone Girl from David Fincher. This is a great movie. This also comes with the storybook of Amy, and really love this movie. Hope this gets a 4K soon. Then we got Panic Room on 4K UHD with the steelbook. This is the only way you can get it in 4K with this steelbook. And thank you to Sony Pictures for sending this to me. Next up here is Das Boot, Wolfgang Petersen's classic miniseries. This is the director's cut. It's unbridged and great movie, phenomenal film. Zero Dark 30, Catherine Bigelow directed this, based on the true story of how they got Saddam Hussein. Osama bin Laden. Really great movie. Then we have here David Fincher's in 7. I chose to get this rather than the Steelbook. I really didn't care for the Steelbook. It's magnetic, which is cool, so it opens up and you don't have to worry about the disc flying out. There's the artwork here, and then inside the artwork. This is a phenomenal 4K presentation. It has corrected colors. David Fincher used David Fincher used his own personal print to ensure color accuracy on this. Fantastic film. Huge 9-day difference between this and a Blu-ray. I did do a 4K comparison between this and the Blu-ray. Go check it out if you haven't already. It is phenomenal. And last up we have here is the Die Hard collection. This includes all 5 Die Hard movies, including the director's R-rated cut of Live Free Die Hard and the director's cut of the last one that we do not mention. Again, like with Lethal Weapon, why are they not putting out Die Hard 2 and 3 and 4K? I don't know. I really hope they do soon. I love Die Hard with a Vengeance. I think it's the best sequel that they've made. Yeah, come on. Give us a 4K here, Fox or Disney or whoever owns it now. Yeah, so let's move on to the last tub here. All right, the last tub here. All right, so we have here is Promising Young Women. I was really surprised by this movie. Fantastic film. Really loved it. And the 4K looks great. We got here Shot Caller. This talk about a movie that nobody has seen or heard of. This is an incredible film. Love, love, love this movie. This is one of those movies that I watch routinely once a year. Definitely check this out. It's a really great movie. Annihilation on 4K. We've got Ex Machina on 4K. Black Klansman. Incredible film from Spike Lee. 4K looks terrific. Then we've got The Invisible Man. I loved what he did with this movie. Brought it to modern day with the Invisible Man story, and the way that they did it where he turns invisible is really unique and inventive. Really enjoyed this movie. Then we got Straight Outta Compton. I think the best music biopic ever made. Then we got Logan, which I believe is the second greatest comic book movie ever made. Fantastic movie. James Mangold and Hugh Jackman knew what to do with that, 100%. I've got here is the 5-disc complete collector's edition of Blade Runner. This includes all the cuts, including the work print and a bonus feature. And yes, I did include the 4K in this case with the final cut. So this is definitely the version you want to get is this collection if you want all the cuts, including the work print. Then American Made. Great movie. This is the 4th John Wick movie. And there's the Steelbook. I love the disc artwork there. That looks cool. Then we have Get Out on 4K. M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin, which is a great movie. Really like this movie. The ending kind of goes off the rails a little bit, but overall I think this is one of the best movies that he has directed since Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. Really good movie. Hacksaw Ridge, I think an underrated Mel Gibson movie. It's great. It's really good. Prey, which so happy this got a 4K physical release, and they really should have put this out in theaters. Babylon. Talk about a movie that bombed and was ridiculed by critics, completely unjustified. This movie is tailor-made for people like me and you who love film, who understand filmmaking. This was just a phenomenal film. Really dives into the filmmaking aspect of the 1920s and 30s, and it's really a really beautiful love letter to Hollywood and filmmaking. Next up we have here is Love Lies Bleeding, which was a great movie. So yeah, this was my favorite movie of 2024, and I wish that it got some love from the Academy, but it got 0, unfortunately. And we have Michael Mann's Collateral in 4K, which looks great. The Crow looks phenomenal in 4K. So happy to get this. I did do about a 2-hour interview with Alex Proyas. Talked about Dark City and The Crow and what really happened with Brandon Lee's death. He touches on that. But I did do a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of this as well, if you want to check it out. All right, next up is The Revenant on 4K. Then we have Violent Night. And then next up we have is Die Hard at Christmas with Violent Night. Great movie. It really brought back the whole feels of the 90s, 80s action movie with this. It literally feels like Die Hard. Then we got here is Dogma on 4K UHD on this steelbook. This is a limited edition steelbook here. Man, so happy that Kevin Smith got the rights to this and was able to re-release this, because that Blu-ray was out of print for decades. You had to pay upwards of $100, $120 just to get it. And yeah, so this brings, re-releasing this in 4K and also Blu-ray really brings a whole new generation to this movie. So happy he was able to do that. Next up we have here is the Cremona trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End in 4K. This was sent to me from Candlelight. I think it was Candlelight that sent this to me, and this is All Quiet on the Western Front, the remake. This is a phenomenal remake. Absolutely loved this remake. Here we got the 4K and the Blu-ray disc. Really loved this movie. Then we have from a movie that a lot of people did not like, but I loved. Alex Garland's Men on 4K UHD. I really wanted the 4K, but the only way to get it in 4K was to import it in from Germany. So we have the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc. But I loved this movie. Has a lot of symbolism of grief and death throughout it. It's a really, really well done movie. Another Alex Garland movie, Civil War on 4K. Then we have The Substance on 4K, another movie that I was really surprised by. I didn't know what to expect from this movie. I heard a lot of great things about it, but you know how sometimes that goes. And when I watched this, my mouth was on the floor. It was incredible, especially with the all practical effects. They didn't use any CG, all practical effects, which is insane. Companion, which was a really great movie. Warner Bros. Sent it to me. Then we got The Rock, the best Michael Bay movie ever made. And we need a 4K to this, because this DVD, this Blu-ray is really dated. We definitely need a 4K to that. Bring it back to life. Then we got Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece, Megalopolis. I wanted to get this on physical media in 4K, and the only way to do it is by importing it in from Italy. Because for some reason, Francis Ford Coppola is not releasing this on streaming or physical media here in the States. I don't know. It's not a good movie, but I can't stop watching it either. Let's see here. Almost Famous, one of my all-time favorite movies on 4K Steelbook. Fantastic film. The Brutalist on 4K. Another movie that I was really, really surprised by. Incredible cinematography, incredibly made. It's a little over 3 hours, but it does not feel like it's 3 hours at all. I think it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes. The pacing is great with it. This is the 4K from A24. Next up is James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, which was a lot of fun and way better than David Ayer's. Then we got here is the Raid 2 on Blu-ray, Breakdown on 4K UHD. So happy that Paramount put this on 4K. This is a movie that a lot of people didn't even know about until just now recently when it came on 4K, which is why I really strongly advocate for other movies like Munich to be on 4K so it can get new life with us physical media collectors that have never seen it. This is a great thriller from the 90s, really well done. It's an hour and 30 minutes, so it's a nice, tight thriller. So got some great surprises in it. The action is great. The music from Basil Poledouris is outstanding. Jonathan Mostow really directed the hell out of this movie. Great movie. Definitely pick it up. It's definitely worth a blind buy if you haven't seen it. Another great movie that Warner Brothers just did dirty to, and that is Horizon on 4K. Chapter 1. Man, this is a great Western. If you love Westerns, you're going to love this movie. I don't know who Kevin Costner pissed off at Warner Brothers for burying this, and then with part 2, they deleted it from existence, really. I really hope that Kevin Costner finds a way to release Chapter 2, because I know people that have seen Chapter 2 and they say that it's Academy Award winning film. It's phenomenal. So I really really hope that Chapter 2 comes out soon. Next up, we have Final Destination Bloodlines, which was a lot of fun. Sinners was sent to me from Warner Brothers. Great movie. Everyone knows that. Another great movie that kind of fell underneath the radar, and that is Roofman. 4K. Who sent this to me? Somebody sent this to me. I think it was... Who sent this to me? I think it was Paramount. Sent this to me. Really great movie. A lot of fun. Yeah, it was a really great movie. I was surprised by that. Then we have here is One Battle After Another. Warner Brothers sent this to me. Another great movie. I really liked it, but I did not think it deserved the Best Picture. Next up we have is The Fly. On Blu-ray, 4K is coming. Hell on High Water is another great film that if you haven't seen, definitely check it out. And we have here is Bad Times at El Royale, which is a phenomenal movie. Love this movie. It was my favorite movie of that year, and definitely worth picking up. Next up we have is Overlord, which was originally supposed to just be a Wolfenstein movie. It was actually supposed to be a Wolfenstein movie, but the rights fell through, so then they just turned it around and made it themselves to Overlord. Really great movie, a lot of fun. Alright guys, that is the end of these 3 tubs, and that is also the end of my physical media collection when it comes to movies. Next up, we are going to take a look at all the TV shows I have, and that's going to be on a separate video. So, because I think this video is long enough. If I didn't do separate videos, this whole collection video would probably be about 6 to 7 hours, and nobody has time to watch all that. So I'm going to be splitting up this and the TV shows. So keep an eye out for the next video. It's going to be my entire TV show collection.
To be continued!